Hi guys, time to do another review for the games that happened over the weekend. Manchester United being at the centre of bantz again, not new to us, if you ask me. It's been that same way all season in the 2021-2022 season. But let's see what their new manager does do with the team. We definitely get to dissect the whole of that in today's show. Gonna be brief a bit, but trust me, we're gonna talk about how so many teams fired out over the weekend. The Premier League is back, not new again, and start with the first kick of Arsenal, of course. Got off a very, very brilliant start. You could see that goal from Martinelli. The set piece manager was so concerned about the set pieces out in the game, and you could just see it was a well worked goal from training. That corner kick from Bukayo Saka to Zinchenko. Saka had to play to an open space, and you see Zinchenko coming in from behind, putting that ball into where a lot of men are, and you see Gabriel Martinelli, who should have scored earlier on around the 34th minute, but get on the other of that, and Arsenal are off and running the new Premier League campaign, and not their best, honestly. Played beautiful football, electric football for 15, 20 minutes max, and the rest was a little bit scrambly. Crystal Palace would have got a goal if they were more clinical and all of that, but fine. Arsenal 2-0 win, and they've got their campaign on a winning side as expected. And of course, one player that was so brilliant that game was William Saliba, man of the match. Has been on loan for the past two or three seasons now, and gets to make his Arsenal debut in style. Brilliant game, clear cut tackles. Come on, spot on Arsenal. If you keep on this way, definitely going to win the Europa League and, of course, make top four football in England this season. So, the other kick-off, sadly, was Liverpool against Fulham at the Craven Cottage, and it was not into Ramon, but for Liverpool Football Club was a very, 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 very sad game, if you'd ask me. And of course, the man of the gaffers come out to say it's a really, really poor game from Liverpool, and that was not them. They were not in the right state of mind, just like the captain Hendo said, and really, really looking forward to the next game on Monday Night Football against Crystal Palace. Come this match day 2 of the Premier League, and one man that stood out was, of course, Alexander Mitrovic. Put aside Darwin Nunez, who came on to get a goal for Liverpool, and of course get an assist from Mo Salah, who scored for the sixth opening day game, most of the Premier League, breaking his own record, spot on for Salah. But of course, Alexander Mitrovic, we definitely have to talk about this guy, the way he threw the Liverpool defense into shambles. Of course, the Liverpool team, there was no synergy between that team that day, but of course, you still have to greet Mitrovic every credit he deserves. Took the team, took the game from the start. You could never really blame Trent Alexander-Arnold for that first goal. But as an athlete, you definitely need to be at your best technically awareness, and we definitely give Liverpool the excuse of the first game, and Fulham really coming off a brilliant performance. We could just see them staying in the Premier League up this time around. Not the regular ups and downs that is associated with this team. But of course, Mitrovic, man of the day one. Yeah, I definitely give it to him. The first time Liverpool have conceded twice in a game since Ike Gundogan did to score against Liverpool in that 4-1 win at Anfield in the 2020-2021 season. Very bad season for Liverpool, of course. And but I mean, Darwin Nunez, of course, will not rule out his performance. I still don't know why he starts game over Nunez, Firmino this time around, but probably a little bit of hope from club to him, but I don't see it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary, rather, and I think it's just best if Liverpool just get on with their games with Nunez starting. Luis Diaz definitely needs to start conversing. Not the best for me, if you'd ask me. And Mo Salah, always the man on the right wing. Didn't have much of the game, but when he did have the ball, I mean, he made at least good use of it. Gift, the ball. Nunez did that flick twice, but of course he was only able to convert one time, which was on the latter occasion. But very, very good one for Darwin Nunez starting his Premier League debut in style. And speaking of one man that had a dream debut, and which they've been in pair-to-pair comparisons together, Erling Haaland. Erling brought Haaland. Come on, City. See, were definitely not at the best when they played against West Ham on Sunday, but they had two shot on targets throughout the game. One was a penalty from Haaland, definitely a penalty. Fabianski should have been wiser, not necessarily could have conceded that penalty against Haaland. Probably would not have put the ball in the net, to be very honest. And of course, the second goal was pure class, and that's why they've brought Haaland. Kevin De Bruyne out to Erling Haaland this season. That's gonna be the combo. We're definitely gonna see these guys soon. Also, watch out for Sad on the news. Pretty good combo as well. They did some crazy stuff in the community shield, and of course they brought that into the Premier League season. Syria, okay, and Chelsea, of course, not. I don't know why Tuchel keeps playing haram football, if you ask me. Not the best from him, but of course they got that crumbling win. 1-0 win against Everton, and you could see that they were really a bit slow and they're still coming off the crumbs, having to sell Richarlison to Tottenham. But it's still a ground out process for Everton, which I still believe they would get themselves right on track. And if they do, I mean, don't be surprised if Fat Frank is the first manager to be laid on the Premier League this season. A lot of people have been saying that, and it could just go on to happen. Fat Frank could just be, I mean, Frank Lampard actually could just be the first manager to be sucked in the Premier League this season. And I'm rooting for Everton, even though I'm a Red Bull. No, still Everton. I still want them to play top flight football. And Chelsea, on the other hand, they really, really need to get that clutch into their signings. Not been convincing to watch Marco Correa first made his debut. Raheem Sterling made his debut start, and Chelsea still need that clutch in them. Jorginho's penalty, scored over 18 penalties in the Premier League, 18 of 20 goals penalties. Chelsea stuffs, and I'm moving to Aston Villa playing against Bournemouth. Really, really expected more from Philippe Coutinho. Just like Steven Gerrard, he's actually expecting more from Coutinho against when he does play games for Villa. They got him £20 million from Barcelona. He's not been as his best over the past few years, but of course you still expect more from him. Give a pretty better show when he came back to the Premier League on loan to Aston Villa last season before they made a permanent move for him. But it's still a win-win for Aston Villa. They play, I think they play, what game do Aston Villa do play next? I'll certainly get on the end of that before the end of the show, but they have a pretty tough game in the next, in the game week 2, and they really, really need to start impressing the players. Of course, having new captain Tyrone Mings straight off the captaincy. Ollie Watkins really, really needs to start getting at the end of balls, and of course putting the ball in the back of the net, because he really, really also wants to make that World Cup squad for England. It's going to be a 26-month squad now rather than 23, so he's got more space to put himself in there. So he better start scoring goals if he really, really wants to play at the World Cup in Qatar later 2022. And one more team before I talk about Manchester United is Tottenham. Crazy football, got behind, went behind from a brilliant work Prowse goal, but I mean, look at the way they did a comeback. They completed the comeback before halftime and came after halftime. What about this man, the Jan Kulusevski? Just few players have been involved in 50 or more 20 goals since the start of 2022, and he's been one of them. Not even Kane, not even Son, Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, Lewandowski, Dejan Kulusevski. What a signing for Tottenham. And I mean, it would have been dumb if they had not gone for a permanent move. He came in the January transfer, in the January winter transfer window last season, just on loan from Juventus. But things were not really, really in clutch for him. But came to Tottenham, he's been that man. You expect Son and Kane to get the goal with his Tottenham and scoring 2, 3, 4 goals. But of course, and surprisingly, Kulusevski's been the man. Eric Dyer, Kulusevski, Sissegan, and who has scored for Tottenham? Oh, of course, a non-goal from Southampton. And still routing for my boy, Joe Aribo from Nigeria. Yeah, routing for him and the Southampton team, the Western number 7 jersey. And of course, still expect more from the Magpies this season. It's going to be a long season. I think Tottenham are really, really well prepared, particularly the fact that they've got Champions League football. We did see Vesper Soma come on, gone on a late attempt. Really, really brilliant. Ivan Perisic, Kevin Leglet. Such a very, very good Tottenham squad, and I really, really expect them to pull something nice this season. At least get at the end of a cup competition. Probably not going to win the league. No, City, Liverpool still up there, still above up. And an FA Cup, Carabao Cup, will not do bad. And probably if they do to crash out of the Champions League in the early stages into the Europa League, I expect them to, grind out all that way. But of course, they've got Arsenal and the Europa League as well. That aside, Manchester United in the brace, it's a very, very poor start. Manchester United kept Cristiano Ronaldo on the bench. Not a really, really encouraging one. And what's coming off now is that They could just go on to get Marko Arnautovic and Andrei Rabiot from Juventus. Shambles for United. It's just like they're moving into the Liverpool 1990s. So bad for Manchester United, and I really, really wish them the best. Even though I wish they went down more, and particularly for Aaron, you've been saying Manchester United can win the Europa League. How on earth are they going to win the Europa League with their squad? How on earth are they going to win the Europa League? How on earth are they going to challenge for a title? Not even the Carabao Cup, even if Liverpool did play it. If Liverpool had to play the likes of Viatic, Harvey Elliott probably with the armband, and sick players up front, come on, I'd still not gonna win a simple League Cup. I tell you that for free. Even with Ronaldo up front, they're not gonna win a single trophy. That I can bet my chest and tell you. So, to all the Liverpool fans thinking United have got something this season, unless they do make the clutch signings they require, nothing for Manchester United this season. I can tell you that. Nothing. How do you get on the... Come on, Matt Fred. Come on. It's going to be a long season for Manchester United if they do go on this way. And I really, really want to see Ten Hag succeed in Manchester United. But of course, he's not going to right place. He can't keep playing with Fred. And David, when I'm going to talk about David De Gea, such a coward goalkeeper. Oh, come on. United have got a very, very, very long way to go. Anyways, I do wish you all the best, even though I don't wish you all the best in the season. But please do ensure you subscribe to the channel, and let me see your comments below in the comment box, and I definitely get to react to all of them. Catch me if you can in the next one. Peace. Bye.